Salvete omnes. If you'd like to support the channel along with these patrons, there's a link in the description box below. This test will be harder than the last, as it is level 2. We're going to start with words like my, your, me, etc. And there will also be some third declension nouns. But remember, the benefit of tests is that they help us identify our weak points, so that we can figure out what areas we need to focus on. Therefore, they should be used as an aid in learning, not as a tool for judgment and perhaps even punishment. So don't feel bad when you get an answer wrong. Instead, use that knowledge to improve your Latin. Okay, let's go! We'll start off with some easier ones. Say to a girl, "You are my friend." Amica meās. For you are, there's no T on S. Try now, "You are my slave." Servus meus es. And I am your master. Dominus tuus sum. And how would we say, "I am reading your letter"? Epistulam tuam lego. These words meus and tuus conjugate just like first and second declension nouns and adjectives. We just need to match them to the gender of the noun they are modifying. Try to say now, "You are drinking in my forest." Silva mea bibis. Let's change it up now. Say, "I love you." Te amo. Te is the accusative form of tu. Try to say now, "The teacher is looking at me." Magistra me vidit. Try to say now, "I give the book to you." Tibi librum do. And the next one is from the Three Little Pigs. How do we say, "May I enter"? Licetne mihi entrare. Both these words, tibi and mihi, are written both with and without the macron. So it's up to you to choose which you want to use. In my opinion, they're easier to pronounce with the macron. Let's add some third declension nouns now. What does the following sentence mean? Miles agricolae gladium dat. The soldier gives the farmer a sword. Lots of third declension nouns are irregular in the nominative form. This word looks a lot more like an English word in its other declensions. Now, can you remember how to say, "I give water to the soldier"? Militi aquam do. The dative form for third declension nouns is the long E, which is regrettable since this is the genitive and plural form of second declension nouns. And do you remember the dative form for second declension nouns? Try to say, "I give the book to my male friend." Amico meo librum do. The dative and ablative are the same for second declension nouns, the long O. And now, what does this mean? Fēlēs super librum dormiēbat. The cat was sleeping on the book. Remember, when super is talking about where something is, it triggers the accusative. And can you figure out what this means? Omnēs Fēlēs meās amant. Everyone loves my cats. This was a little deceptive because Omnēs and Fēlēs have the same endings, but this is only because Fēlēs is the singular and plural nominative form and also the plural accusative form. In reality, it is meās that is modifying Fēlēs, because this is a plural feminine noun. Try to say now, give me the sword. Da mihi gladium. It may seem like we should say me here, but that is the accusative form of ego. So that would mean something like, give me to someone else. But since we could also phrase this as, give the sword to me, we know that we want the dative form, which is mihi. And what does this mean? No licibum meum edere. Don't eat my food. Remember, with the word noli, we put the other verb in infinitive form, because noli is actually an imperative form. So the second verb is not conjugated. Let's try some phrases with the word for to go now. Try to say, I'm going home. Domum eo. Remember, with the word home, we don't say, I'm going to home, just like in English. So we put it by itself in the accusative form. And the verb is ire in infinitive form. But the first person conjugation is irregular, eo. Make this a command now and say, go with Julius, please. Cum Julio I quaeso. The word for please is a verb in disguise and literally means I beg. There is another irregular form for the verb to go in Latin. Say, the poet and the male student go. Poeta et discipulus eunt. And finally, what does this phrase mean? Valo te domo mea exire. I want you to leave my house. Remember that domus is a feminine noun, but conjugates like a second declension noun. So domo mea is the ablative form of my house. And the verb exire is a combination of ire, to go, and the prefix ex, out of. How did you do this time? Remember to use your results as a study aid, not a penalty, so that you can use them to improve your Latin. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and if you can, help support the channel on Patreon, where there are audio downloads and transcripts of each dialogue and story. Gratias!